Welcome to Hardcore Garage. I am back to working on the 64. Had to wait for some things to get made. Got it all back together yesterday, and we are about to see if it was a success or not. Let's open this door and see what we see. Look at there. She is still standing up. And that looks like that might just be full lock. Nice. That's never happened before. It's set for, I don't know, 16 to 20 hours and has not dropped. In the front, at least. I can't tell in the back. I should have paid more attention, but I haven't really had big issues with the back. But anyway, talk a little bit about what I've been doing to this 64, trying to get everything correct. The very last time that I went for a cruise, victory cruise, it didn't turn out to be such a great victory. I got stuck out on the road because it was able to lay out. It would actually lay on the ground when it was all the way down. A lot of people like that, and I can appreciate that. Dragging is a lot of fun, when you're in a car that can do that and doesn't get tore up or whatever. However, I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes from my house, and it took me almost an hour to get home. One of the bags actually busted a hole. It was my own fault. Not knowing what I was doing, there was actually a bolt I think that was when we did that. Yeah, there was a bolt that rubbed a hole in the bag. Anyway, so I'd have to sit there and wait for it to air up, fly, drive as far as I could as I held the up switch, blah, blah, blah. Didn't like that at all. So I was trying to figure out the easiest way to lift it to exactly the right height, or not necessarily lift it, but to have it set all the way down at exactly the right height. And there's a whole lot of difference when I would add or take off some, just barely any material off of the upper cups. It made a heck of a difference out, 6-8 inches out from where your bag mount is, where your wheel rides. And because of the angles, it changes it. So a half inch out of your bag cup might be 2 inches of drop at your wheel. So I struggled back and forth. And here was my solution. I hope this maybe can help some of you guys to try to figure this out when you're doing it. It was the easiest way for me to, try to figure out exactly what I needed. So here you go. This is basically the material that I had my cups made out of, or that we made the cups out of. It's actually way too big, but this is the only material that I could get for a reasonable amount of money around here. The really 1/8 inch thick stuff that I see the other mounts being made of was ridiculously priced. I was going to have to pay $255 for 2 feet. This stuff is a whole lot cheaper. Anyway, so let's just pretend that this is your upper bag mount, and you're trying to figure out, and let's say that the truck is or the car or whatever is sitting too low. If it's too high, you just start cutting. I wouldn't suggest cutting more than about a half inch at a time because, like I said, it changes dramatically once you get out to the wheel. So here's what I started with. I made these rings. I had my metal guy make these rings, let's clarify. And they are exactly the same size as the pipe. Same size. And then when we welded these 3 little tabs on there, and what these are, they help to index the pipe. So let's just say that I had that cut an inch too short. This is my 1-inch ring. I slap that in there at centers. I can bolt it in there with my bolts or whatever. If it is the right height, perfect. I can pull this out. I can weld, or I can go ahead and make brand new cups based off of this. If I just want to try, half inch, I can do that half inch at a time. If you wanted 1.5 inches, I could just add that. Right now I have 3/4 in there, and it is... I don't know. I didn't get a tape measure in there, but I would say it's at least 1 inch off the ground. So I'm thinking, do I want to tear it back apart and try the half inch? Because one thing that did happen when I did change this is my threaded rod that went through the center. The whole reason I went through all of this stuff to begin with is now not long enough. So we're going to have to deal with that next. It seems like it's always going to be something. Constant. One thing that I did discover, and maybe you can tell me why, or maybe I already have the answers. When I first put this all back together, I let it sit for more than 24 hours before I pumped it up using that the liquid sealer. I'm just trying to do as much as I can, and it says it'll hold 100 pounds right off the bat. 24 hours for anything over that. So I went ahead and let it sit for 24 hours. I usually pump this up now. It'll go to 130, 140, something like that with the new pressure switch in the back. Pumped it up after that next day, came back down maybe 2 hours later, and it was all the way down. I'm like, what the heck? I pumped it back up again and sprayed the T-fitting under the hood, and that thing was bubbling like crazy. And, you know, it's one of them quick release tees. All I did was just kind of wiggle it around, make sure I had jammed them in there far enough and yanked them out. I didn't know maybe if there was just a little grit. So did they just need to be clean? Were they not quite seated right? Because, I mean, it was bubbling pretty good, and I didn't change anything. I just kind of yanked, you know, on both sides of that tee and on the bottom of the tee, make sure that it was pulled as tight as it could. And then the result was what you saw when I walked in here just a second ago. It's all the way up, didn't leak. If it did leak any air, it couldn't be too much. I'm going to check the gauge right now and see what we got, but I'm pretty sure that we're still 130 to 140. So, and it's at full lock when I try to push down on the suspension. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys that. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend, what's left of it. This is Sunday. I'm trying to keep these videos in real time. So what you see is really what happened today, yesterday, or the day before, within a couple of days. And we're doing that. All right, how that makes it a whole lot easier on everybody. And I'm not trying to dig through videos. And yeah, so let's just go with that. Appreciate if y'all would subscribe, like the video, hit the little notification bell so you know when we do put out videos. Friday is our day for the official video, but I'm just going to do what I'm going to do during the week. If you get videos, then yes, we'll get some more videos. If not, see you on Friday. Keep on trucking.